Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Hell, ow. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game Over, Game Over Vancouver. My name is Kaja Antic. The Vancouver Canucks lost 3-2 in overtime to the Utah. Before we get into the rest of what happened tonight, I just wanted to let you know that you should definitely. Oh no, I did not format my tab correctly. There we go. Check out the flagship show of the Game Over Network on the Game Over Network YouTube channel, Hyperdrive Hockey, all things hockey across various leagues in multiple countries. Wherever it is and wherever it is, whatever it is and wherever it is, Max, Daphne, and Kev have you covered for all your hockey news with a steady dose of fun and fan engagement. You can find Hyperdrive Hockey on the Game Over Network YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts on the Hyperdrive Hockey page at thegameovernetwork.com. All right. So, the Vancouver Canucks. It's their first game on the road since they broke even, actually. I'm surprised they did. They broke even on the homestand of 6 games that they did throughout the beginning of December. And I mean, they're only on the road for 2 games, so is it a road trip? I don't know, but it is back to back. They're in Utah one day and then next door in Nevada to play Vegas tomorrow night. Um, so I mean that must suck, but also, you know what else sucked tonight? The first period. What happened? Cuz I was like, this is really just like nothing's going on whatsoever during this game. The Canucks took like what felt like 70 years to get a second shot on goal. Um, and again, sure they have new jerseys and sure they've rebranded, but this was the team that was like constantly like, okay, you're gonna lose to the Coyote. Like you have to remember where Utah came from. It came from Arizona. That doesn't make sense if you think about it geographically, but hockey wise, it makes sense. Yeah, the Canucks had 4 shots compared to Utah's 9. And it just felt like in the first period that Utah was like, all right, we're here to do this. I don't know if the Canucks don't know how mountain time works. Again, they don't start off the game great. Shocker. I know, but like, the game was still at a normal time compared to other games because it was at 7 Pacific time because it's 8 Mountain time because Utah's on Mountain time. And I honestly would find that really annoying if I'm like in Mountain Standard Time or whatever, because a lot of their games still start at like 7 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. there, so you're not like leaving until like 11. So that must like suck. Um, yeah, yeah, that must suck. Anyway, um, it's just something I thought about because, like, 7:30 is pushing it a bit for us West Coasters, but jeez. Anyway, that's my rambling on that for now. Second period, the Canucks finally get going with something. They finally decided that it was time to play hockey, the normal 8 p.m. start time for them. And Danton Heinen, the reason I'm wearing my, for viewers watching this, I just dropped my pencil. For viewers watching this, I'm wearing a Surrey Eagles toque. It's a BCHL team. Danton Heinen played for the Surrey Eagles in the BCHL. He was actually the Peace Arch News Surrey Leader fan favorite in 2014, I think. He got that award. I don't know. It was on a trophy in the trophy case at the South Surrey Arena, so ta-da, Eagles hat. That's why. Anyway, Danton Heinen gets the scoring going on the power play. Danton Heinen on the power play, like we all predicted it would be. It's pretty decent goal, to be fair. Quinn Hughes gets his 29th assist of the season. But just that finish, like you take away the jersey number and like the name and stuff on there, You'd be like, okay, oh, is it Pedersen? Is it Besser? No, Danton Heinen, like we all expected it to be. This is not a knock on Danton Heinen. Really good job, bud. Anyway, third period, Canucks once again. They realize how they know how to play hockey. Dakota Joshua gets somewhat of a break. It scores on a nasty tuck behind Karel Vejmelka for his second of the season. And he hasn't been putting up as many points as of recently. Again, he's still, like, sure, he's 17 games back, but still borough cancer. So, like, that's okay. um, Quinn Hughes, 30 assists already. God, he's insanely good. But yeah, Dakota Joshua, second of the year, and it all goes downhill for the Canucks because they. Hi, Kyle. Why does this happen whenever you host one of these? I don't know. I think I'm just unlucky at this point. I got the Game Over curse when Game Over Vancouver started 2 seasons ago, and I feel like I had 3 of the 7 straight losses. Um, like the majority. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I always get these games. Um, yeah, so it all goes downhill from here for the Canucks because Clayton Keller, captain of the Utah Hockey Club, and yeah, because, the NHL decided to have all their teams live in harmony and every team had a captain. And until like last week when Jacob Trouba got traded by the Rangers. So the Rangers are now captain list. Shocker, they traded their captain. Jesus Christ. But yeah, Clayton Keller, he scores even strength. They're even strength. There's 5 Canucks out there, plus Thatcher Demko, who at this point, like, if anyone blames Thatcher Demko for the loss, I beg you to reevaluate every single decision you've made in your life. Um, like, yeah, sure, Demko thought he had the puck here, but also both defensemen were focused on Nick Schmaltz. It was Myers and Brandstrom. Shocker. Sorry. uh, it was Myers and Brandstrom tied up. They're both focused on Nick Schmaltz. Demko doesn't completely grab the rebound because the puck decided it didn't want to go in his glove, and Clayton Keller gets that rebound and scores. So it's 2-1. You know what? We're still in the clear. The Canucks are still doing all right. And then they're not doing all right with like 5 minutes left in the game. The referee decides the perfect time. I understand a penalty's a penalty, but and I listen, I advocate for refs doing their jobs. That's great and all. But that cross check by Myers, that's something that would be let go in like a FIFA officiated soccer game. Unless it was done to Argentina. Like that would be let go. So that's how like non-issue it was, but still because I really don't understand why that was called because it's not. I mean, maybe they're trying to keep it even because yeah, each team up to that point, Utah had one more penalty than the Canucks did, but still, like, that was the weakest cross check I've ever seen Tyler Myers do, and that's what gets called on the play. It's wild. But yeah, so who else but Dylan Gunther? I mean, who's shocked? Who's shocked? They said it on the post game, like right after the game ends. It's just like, all right, so here's what happened. Dylan Gunther, Canucks fans know him well, and it's just dread. It's just the dread of that. Um, but yeah, Dylan Gunther scores on the power play, 14th of the year. I have him in fantasy though, so that's good for me. Hopefully I win this week cuz I'm not good at fantasy. Dylan Gunther, who else but him? And then the Canucks try and regain their senses in the last little bit there. But Utah also knows how to do that. And it goes to overtime. And I'm like, oh, great, this is going to be so interesting, guess, based on how the first period went. But I forgot, I guess, in that 30-second break between the third period and overtime, what the end of the third period was like, because that was wild. Especially the Thatcher Demko save, with like 25 seconds left. It's a guaranteed goal. I forgot who the Utah player was. I'm not calling them Utah Hockey Club. That is a stupid name. I forgot who it was, but they shot it. It's like a guaranteed goal. Demko like free willies into the air and grabs the puck in his chest and then goes down on his side and then still lets it go. But or not grabs and holds onto the puck, but he makes the save. And of course, the period ends 20 odd seconds later, goes to overtime, and Mikhail Sergachev eventually. So his second OT, he has 8 goals of the season. His second OT winner of the season. He has 8 goals. What? He's a defenseman too. He has 8 goals on the season. That's his second overtime winner. Does he only play in overtime? Like, is that the gauge? Should Tocchet do that to Hoglander? I don't know. Yeah, I have Dylan Guenther in fantasy, so yay for me, I guess. I don't know. As a Canucks fan, it hurts, but I'm winning. I'm winning. The Canucks weren't. But that was probably the best, or one of the best OT performances. I think the Canucks don't know how long 5 minutes is, because, I mean, they also gave their all, but then let the puck go the other way in this game and in the Minnesota game. I just say in the Minnesota there was an issue with refs and stuff. Could be brought up by this as well. Wow, the Canucks had 15 giveaways, Utah had 26. So there's a positive. We get a point. It's not like Utah is top of the table. Oh my gosh. There is no table. It's not like Utah is like top of the league or top of the conference. But still, it would have been nice, especially considering on the back half of a back-to-back, we're going into Vegas tomorrow night, which is, notoriously not friendly to the Canucks. And they're in our division, so they actually matter, and in our division and in a playoff spot, so they actually matter. So yeah, it won't be a fun game, but overall, I mean, it was once again eventful for depth scoring. From Bluger gets an assist, Joshua gets the goal, Heinen gets the goal, and then of course Quinn Hughes gets 2 assists. Lankinen's back. He's probably in net tomorrow night, I would assume so. Against Vegas, because I mean Demko's had 3. Michael Carcone, thank you, Scott, in the chat. Yeah, I was like, I forget. Because I already forget that they're Utah now. Like, I know a lot of the roster didn't change, but still. Also, I love how there's so much hype whenever Dylan Guenther plays against us, because it's not like he was ever, like, actually attached to the Canucks. It was just a pick that we traded away, and then Arizona drafted Dylan Guenther. And now he plays for Utah. And it's also not like he never played against the Canucks as a Coyote, I'm pretty sure. So, I just find it really funny. It's like, oh, it's Dylan Guenther. He's literally just a guy. Like, he's just a dude. But yeah, Michael Carcone, that sounds right. Yeah, anyway, Demko deserves, somebody give Thatcher Demko a gun. No, don't do that in Minecraft. Yeah, that's what I think about that. I don't know. It's it was overall just a meh game with a meh effort and meh time awareness. But hey, they just like me for real. All right, before we get into a little bit of what the Canucks are in the market for, Game Over Network is an independent production focused on community, inclusion, and quality people. If you're interested, I kicked something. If you're interested in supporting the Game Over Network, we have crowdfunding options available. In the description of this episode, you'll find a link to our Patreon page, and we're also working on a page through LaRouche, a crowdfunding platform for companies originating in Quebec. For LaRouche, we're aiming to raise $15,000, and if we hit that goal, we'll gain access to government grants that will allow us to employ more people. If you have any ideas for what you'd like to see as giveaways from these crowdfunding efforts, let us know in the comments on Twitter, Instagram, or our Discord server. Alrighty, folks. Okay. So, there's been some discussion, because there was a few trades made today. Kaapo Kakko is finally not a New York Ranger, and I say that not because there's any animosity. I mean, maybe, but he was healthy scratched recently and said some stuff about it. And also he's just been struggling in general to try and find his place on the Rangers roster. Yeah, so he's traded to the Seattle Kraken, so we'll see him at some point. He was traded to Seattle Kraken. Kaapo Kakko, he was the... Oh, he was first overall, wasn't he? Or was he second? No, he was second. Okay, wait. The Rangers also recalled Matt Rempe. I saw that. Okay, Kaapo Kakko. He was a second overall, was he not? Yeah, he was second overall in 2019. Yes, that was the year Hughes went first. Yeah, so high expectations. And he's 23 now. Hasn't played a lot. I'm not surprised he was traded. The Rangers are trying to fix whatever they can to get out of this rut that they're in. And yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Kaapo Kakko was traded to the Seattle Kraken. The Rangers received defenseman Will Borgen and a 3rd and 6th round pick for 2025. Will Borgen, 33 games played for the Kraken. He was a 4th rounder in 2015. He has 2 points in 33 games. Yeah. He's also a defenseman. Kakko's a forward. Pretty different. And then also draft picks as well. And then there was also Alexander Carrier was traded to Montreal in exchange for Justin Barron, kind of out of nowhere, somewhat, which is why I'm like, all right, that's interesting, because Carrier also signed, or was it Barron? Sorry. One of them had just signed, I closed the wrong tab. Yeah, Carrier had just signed a 3-year contract with Nashville in July. You know who else just signed a 3-year contract with the team they play for now? Niels Höglander, who is probably going to get traded. Niels Höglander. There was some discussion. I keep seeing the names Byram, Cousins, and Pettersson, like Elias like our current number 40 forward, Elias Pettersson, being attached to that, and I just do not see at all a point where that works out, especially because I know the Canucks are looking for a defenseman, but Byram has said, I believe, that he wants to go somewhere where he can be a number 1, like the power play quarterback, number 1 left shot D. We kind of have that already. You know, a little guy called the reigning Norris Trophy winner, Quinton Jerome Hughes. That's not his middle name. But I'm running with it. Quinton, I was trying to think of something, but I can't think of anything. Uh, I was like, what's a name that starts with J? And my brain just stopped working. Um, but yeah, Quinn Hughes. We kind of have him already. We don't need another. I mean, it would be nice, but if you want to get that spot from Quinn Hughes, I'm sorry, that isn't happening. I understand you were a fourth overall, and I understand, there's some local connections and we keep signing local people. Ha ha ha. Um, that's why also Julesen's still in the lineup. I mean, he's also probably one of our better NHL D options at the moment, considering. um, but yeah, I just don't see a world where he can take that number one spot from Quinn Hughes unless he like makes some he makes some adjustments in his goals. Um, because yeah, it would be nice. But also Byram is younger. He's like what a he was a 2020 draft pick? Nope, never mind. He was a 2019 draft pick. Um, yeah, he was fourth overall in 2019. A lot of trades in the 2019 draft pool. But Byram, yeah, I could see it, but also I can't because it's like, where does he fit? Is he a good fit? I get it that we have some struggles on our defensive end right now, but if he's primarily looking for offensive capabilities, then I mean, we do need somebody who moves the puck, but we also need somebody who knows how to defend, because obviously nobody on our team does. Um, and people were hoping for that with Brandstrom, but I think Brandstrom still has a ways to go in his defensive capabilities. And but I do know Brandstrom is. I can't spell Brandstrom. What the heck? Brandstrom. There we go. Yippee! Yeah, Brandstrom is older, not by like a lot, but still. So there's that issue. Cousins I also found interesting because Buffalo is Buffalo, and these rumors may be completely unfounded because they're also just wild. Buffalo's getting calls on Cousins, and there we go. He's in year 2 of 7 on a 7.1 deal. He's 23, right shot center. He's, I mean, he's in Buffalo, so they're not like, um, it's an outstanding place to pack your stats. He was 7th overall in 2019, and he's, do they have projected? Oh, they don't. Okay. Well, it's okay. Um, they don't have projected, but yeah, he's on year 2 of a 7-year deal. We also put a lot of faith in Pedersen and developing him and keeping him with the team, so I don't think that happens. But that I just wanted to share that trade idea with y'all because I thought it was insane. Do I think we get Byram? Probably not, because he wants to be the power play quarterback, and that's not really realistic with our decor at the moment. We need somebody like an Ian Cole. No. I Somebody messaged in a group chat I'm in earlier today, would you rather have Ian Cole or Vinny Desharnais? And I just kind of wanted to curl up and cry a little bit. Because I feel like the left side puck moving, but also somewhat defensively knowledgeable defenseman. The name that comes to mind is Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but that's not a name that's ever coming back to Vancouver, unfortunately. Or fortunately, wherever you stand on that. So, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, I'm not sure. And then Provorov, he's basically only good when he has a solid right partner, and when if Hronik comes back, he's probably just going to be stapled back to Quinn Hughes, because Hronik needs a good lefty partner to perform, and two wrongs don't make a right. I also don't. I just don't think Provorov is a good fit. On our defensive core, he just seems like another. I don't want to say Zadorov type, but because I don't think he's that big. His dog's cute. That's what I can give him. But yeah, he's. I would say Byram is the upside, but Byram's also heading into RFA territory. And if we pay a lot for him, I want to make sure he stays, considering he is an RFA, and there's all those issues with that. It's different from getting a rental for the playoffs, whereas it's different from getting a rental with the playoffs because, the RFA thing comes staple to it. Like how when we traded for, I almost ripped my headphones out. Like how when we traded for Connor Garland, that's what happened. He was an RFA, and then we signed him to a lot of money, and people were like, why does he make this much money? And then he was on the trading block for like 500 years, and now he is underpaid. Apparently. That's what people keep telling me. I I don't think the Canucks, like, they're having their issues right now. But every team goes through this. I mean, we're not alone. We have a healthy forward group. They just need to, learn how to play hockey again. The Canucks are looking for a defenseman, and the two best ones are eyeing to be the number one spot when that's just not realistic. You could be a number two left shot, but they probably don't want that. And if you're Bowen Byram, I mean, it would be cool because he's, local. If you sign him long term, it depends what the price would be. Depends also, like, would you agree before he comes here to long term? Does that change what they're sending? Is it Niels Höglander? It's like, the question is it Niels Höglander in a fourth or Niels Höglander in a first? That's what I care about. Anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit about Utah and why their name makes me so mad. And just in general, what the vibe is so far from the Utah Hockey Club, everything that's going on there in Utah. I mean, not everything. I don't know everything. I mean, obviously, the Mormon library is locked. Can't get in there. We're not talking about that. Even though it is locked up and it's in a mountain and you can take tours to the outside, but you can't go inside because it's locked. To talk about what's going on with the Utah Hockey Club. Ugh. Just, it's not a name. That's like. Anyway, before we get into that, Game Over has you covered after the game, but in order to get ready to watch the Canucks, you've got to get your game on too. Premiering in the new year in 2025, Game On Vancouver is a short form daily news podcast covering everything you need to know about the Vancouver Canucks. Hosted by Mark Sianquita and Zach Clarke, get all your Canucks news in under 10 minutes, Monday through Friday on the Game Over Vancouver YouTube channel and in podcast form, which you can find at thegameovernetwork.com/pages/Vancouver. So yeah, that'll be premiering in the new year, which is in 2 weeks. So, soon. I promise we're getting Game On Vancouver before we get GTA 6. So the Utah Hockey Club. I need y'all's thoughts. First of all, the colors, no purple. I'm disappointed. Like, you take the best jerseys and the best color scheme in the league, and you give us default career mode when you make up a team. That's what it's doing. It's giving whatever color is in your soccer coach's trunk that the Timbits people gave them for soccer. I'm saying this because I definitely had a soccer jersey in that color growing up when I was playing as like a 7-year-old. Like, definitely. I don't love the Utah Hockey Club name and all the names that they gave out, like Utah Yeti. I understand you have mountains, but you don't have mountains like us. Utah, like, I can't even remember the other ones. that were floating around that they had in their poll or whatever, because they're just so not, I don't want to say relevant. Relevant's not the right word I want to use. It's they're so just meh. They're meh. That's what they are. That's all. That's it. It's meh. Their color scheme, yeah. I love the baby blue. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool to see a shade of blue that's not the exact same as whatever the Maple Leafs have had for 25,000 years. What I would have loved to see, and this is kind of tied back to the Maple Leafs because I wonder if they had any influence, or Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, MLSE, who own the Leafs and the Raptors and like 90% of Toronto sports. I want to know if they had any influence on this because I took a course in first year just about dinosaurs. Well, not first year. I was technically third year, but it was a first year course. It was just about dinosaurs. And there's a dinosaur called the Utah Raptor. It's right there. That's the name. Like I'm like trying to figure out how to show it on stream, but I don't know how to fix it properly. Utah. There we go. Wikipedia. We got it. Utah Raptor. There it is. It was real. It's a Utah Raptor. It existed. They had that name. It could have been the Utah Raptors. It could have been, I guess maybe the purple was a little bit too close if we're gonna go with the purple. But still, even with the black and the blue, you could have made something cool with that. And instead you go with Utah Hockey Club. That's like beer league in Germany. What are we doing here? Utah Hockey Club? You could have been the Utah Raptors. You could say, "Oh, well there would be two Raptors in professional sports. A, different leagues. B, different sports. C, different countries. D, across North America from each other." Like, point to Utah on a map, and it is way down here. Point to Toronto on a map, and it is somewhere over here. Very different locations from each other. So why are they not allowed to be called the Utah Raptors? The MLB alone has multiple teams named after socks. The things you put on your feet. I get it, those are historic names. At the same time, raptors are even more historic than socks. Do you think T-Rexes wore socks? That's not the point here. What I'm saying is, why can't we have the Utah Raptors? Why can't we have that? That's all I want. All I wanted was for them. They took away the best jerseys and the best goal song in the league. It was a howl. How cool is that? I mean, if the Canucks did that, it would just be whale sounds. It'd be like Dory and Finding Nemo. But they took away the best stuff in Arizona. Sure, maybe not the best arena. Maybe not the best ownership either. The Yeti, that's still, like, it's still just, I don't like that. I don't like that. UY? Just Y. Put the Y there. Why does it have to be Utah? Why can't it be Salt Lake City Stormin' Mormons? I don't know. But Utah Raptor, that's a dinosaur. It's a real dinosaur. There was no dinosaur called the Toronto Raptor. Guys, it's not real. It's not real. At least Vancouver Grizzlies made sense because there's Grizzlies in Vancouver. Or there's at least Bears in Vancouver. I saw one last week. But there's literally a dinosaur called the Utah Raptor, and they didn't pick the raptor. I understand they don't even have a mascot right now because they basically spirit Halloween an entire NHL franchise. But their mascot tonight was this guy standing along the glass dressed as Buddy the Elf, like the Christmas movie character for Will Ferrell. I don't know who let Brady Kachuk in the building, but that was a choice. And then they also have their ice crew, which was kind of distracting in that one corner, but again, they don't have seats there because, like, a lot of the rink is obstructed view because it's a basketball arena, not a hockey arena. And again, they spirit Halloween an entire NHL franchise. So I understand not having the whole, game plan mapped out. And I watched the PWHL. I get not having team names for the first year, but Utah Raptors right there. And it wasn't in their short list of names, and it should be added because it was an actual real dinosaur, and it makes me so mad that they're just like, "Ah, oh, no, we're not gonna consider that." Does it have to be in that one guy's book for it to be like that book was written in the 1800s? They knew dinosaurs back then. George Washington didn't know dinosaurs existed, but Joe Smith or whatever his name is, he knew. He knew the dinosaurs. Probably. Raptors. It should be the Utah Raptors. You can keep the color scheme. I don't care. Just name them the Raptors so we can have one good thing in this league. But the NHL hates fun, so that's probably not going to happen. All right. Before we get into overtime, what better way to support something you love than by rocking it as clothing? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, currently on sale, or want to wear your love for the goalies proudly with our Live and Die by the Goalie design, or if you just need another coffee to get through the winter, we have you covered. I have coffee. I mean, it's iced coffee, so it's not in a mug, but you get. It's actually not coffee either. It's tea. Designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. Also, Christmas update. It is 1 week until Santa's birthday, so just a reminder, using the code GOHOLIDAYS, that's GO Holidays, we're offering 15% off all winter products, hoodies, and the beanie. This will be active until December 25th, so that's 1 week from today, from the day that this is being recorded, so December 18th, so yeah, 1 week today. This will be active until December 25th, and with a different sale dropping on Boxing Day, so it's 1 week tomorrow. That'll be Thursday. Yeah, so 15% off the hoodies and the beanie, GO holidays until December 25th. So the next 7 days. 7 days. All right. Chat, they did something at the rink tonight in Utah that I thought was pretty cool. They gave away a bunch of obstructed view tickets just for free. And I know there's some NHL teams that like sell them for money. I'm not gonna name names, but it is the Flames. I think the Kraken do it too. I understand if your arena's like not built for that. Miller looks like a bum tonight. Yeah, I mean he was he had good shifts and bad shifts. I think he just has to get his head in the game a little bit. Probably needs to watch High School Musical. I don't know if his kids are old enough to do that yet, but it is a cultural experience that they should witness. But yeah, Utah had the owner, Ryan. His name is Ryan. And he looks like he has the exact hairstyle that you would find in the Me channel on Wii. That's not a bad thing. That's just exactly what his hair is. It's like impressively accurate, and I commend him for that. Yeah, one of the owners of the Utah Hockey Club and the Utah Jazz. He, well, I don't know if it was him personally, but probably had some say in it. Gave away around I think it was 2,000 obstructed view seats tonight. So I mean, that means that some people may have not seen Demko's insane save late in the third. But also, I think that's a pretty cool thing. Because you know what? I'm a college student, and getting to go to an NHL game is very expensive. So doing that for free is awesome, even if you can only physically see half of it. I have eye issues already. If you can't tell, my glasses are thicker than a hockey puck. The lenses are, at least. So, I mean, half the time I can't see what's going on either if I'm in the upper bowl. So, you know what? I commend him for that. Um, yeah. The Canucks weren't. They learned how to leave their zone. Um, but they don't know what to do after that. It feels like progressively each game that they don't play. It just feels like every game that they're learning a different part of how to play hockey again. Which when you're 31 games into the season is not a good sign. It's a little discouraging from a team that, you know, took the Edmonton Oilers to 7 games last year. Admittedly, they had the lead in the series, but still, they got to 7 games. Against them. Sure, our second best defenseman is out. It hurts to call Hronik. He was bad sometimes and okay sometimes. He was doing better out there than I would, so there's that. Yeah. We're missing Philip Hronik. It's not like that's much of a big deal. I mean it is, but Canucks forecheck looks bad. It looks non-existent. It doesn't. It's not there. The Boston game is when I noticed how much they really do not forecheck, because the only person that I noticed in the Boston zone, because the Canucks barely got there in the first place, the only person that I noticed during the Boston game that was forechecking was Niels Höglander. So I don't know if forechecking is against the Tocchet vision, because obviously Tocchet and Höglander have their disputes. But yeah, it's a it's a viewing experience. It's a viewing experience. Um, yeah, the forecheck is non-existent. They know how to get into the neutral zone. They don't know anything past that. Getting into the offensive zone, you need to. What did I write? You need to. Sure, they're getting shots off, but in order to get the shot to go in the net, it needs to go at the net first. The Velma of postgame. This is just an orange hoodie, and it's just orange because it's a Max Verstappen hoodie and he's Dutch. I just wanted to wear a hoodie today because I was cold. Oh, are you saying that because that also works, because yeah, I can't see properly. I'm not wearing a red pants though. I'm wearing jeans. I can't move my leg that high. The Velma of post game analysts. I was gonna say something else there, and then my brain decided to blue screen, so that's not happening. But yeah, the forecheck. They need to learn. The Canucks need to learn from that one Leafs player. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. The little Russian kid. He's not little. He's probably not a kid. He's probably older than me. When he was like forecheck, back check, bay check. That's what. Apologies to the Russian diaspora. That accent was horrible. But that's what he said. Um, and I feel like the Canucks need to take some advice for him. Not just the paycheck part, but learn how to do the rest of it. You like Buddy? Thank you. Yeah, what's the Max Verstappen thing? He is a four-time World Drivers' Champion in F1, Formula One racing. And yeah, he's a pretty cool driver. He won 19 of 23 races, 22 races last season. Imola was canceled. Yeah, it's F1 champion guy. He's Dutch. That's why everything he has is orange. Or it's Red Bull themed. This is orange and Red Bull themed because he drives for Red Bull. And he doesn't have a teammate anymore. In hockey terms, Oh, this is actually perfect. In hockey terms, if Max Verstappen is Quinn Hughes, then his teammate, his partner, didn't they play that music though? Da 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 da. That one. Um, yeah, so in Canucks terms, if Max Verstappen is Quinn Hughes, then his teammate, who is no longer his teammate as of today, which it was finally announced after, I mean, not finally announced. It's been like less than 2 weeks since the season ended, um, but it's finally announced, kind of, that his teammate Sergio Checo Perez was dropped from Red Bull, even though he has a contract for next season. It's kind of like how right now Quinn Hughes doesn't have a real D partner because Philip Hronek is injured. Except Hronek's coming back and Perez probably isn't. It's like they put. It's like if they put they're putting it's like they put Juleson with Hughes instead of Myers with Hughes. Juleson is Liam Lawson, Myers is Yuki Tsunoda for some reason, even though they are very different on the height scale. That's hockey. It's F1 in hockey terms, which is totally something I'm totally not working on right now. Um, but yeah, Max Verstappen has won four. I mean, if you ask some Lewis Hamilton fans, he only won three, but that's in the past. 2021 is in the past. It was mentioned, I remember, during a Canucks broadcast. It's a pig bag song from the early 80s. I think because it's been remastered, or not remastered, but like remixed as like a, I don't want to say dubstep EDM. I don't know that kind of music. Um, but it kind of got remixed as that, and then there's people who use those types of beats and then make songs with like athletes with uh in the names. So there's a few songs about Max Verstappen now, but the more popular one is the da 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 Max Verstappen. Yeah. That's the Max Verstappen one. There's a remix after he won his first world title in 2021 and he just won his fourth in 2024. Um but yeah, that's him. Who knows if he's going to win a fifth? Got close this year, so because McLaren was really fast, but they don't know how to. Well, I don't want to say they. Lando Norris kind of needs to learn how corners work at some points. I'm the same though. To be honest, when I'm driving, I also like to take curbs. Game Over Network to enter a team in F1 in 2026. You know what? Come on, new rigs. There's no DRS. Get me in there. Game Over Motorsport. I am so down. I am going to I will get more points than Sauber did this year. Definitely. They had four. They finished with four. Um you know what? Maybe they might be extending points to 12th. I don't know why. They probably won't. Um like, they said that drivers shouldn't be allowed to swear, but then they only gave like one penalty for that. F1 is fun. If you ever want to get into it, don't ask me, because I will. It'll be, yeah. Game Over Motorsports. I think Game Over Motorsports would just be me screaming for 2 hours, which is kind of like how this show feels like sometimes. I just went on a whole rant about dinosaurs too. Um, This is called Weaponized ADHD. All right, everybody. I think that's it for tonight. Vancouver Canucks lost. Surprise. I mean, it was on the road, so even that's actually shocking. Vancouver Canucks lost. They gave up a multi-goal lead for the first time since their first game against Calgary when they lost 6-5. Um, which I'm so happy about. Um, yeah, Vancouver loses 3-2 in overtime to the Utah Hockey Club. Would be entertaining streaming. Thank you. Yeah, for the sake of not getting a noise complaint and also for my vocal cords because I am perpetually always sick, um, will not be doing that tonight. potentially at a later date. Because remember when the Canucks were at the top of the league last Christmas? That was so amazing. I will be back tomorrow. I won't be back tomorrow. Zach will be doing the show against Vegas. And though I will be back for one more show before Christmas break for the 23rd game, which is on Amazon. Remind you all, so get your supplies in line for that game. I don't know how it's a home game for the Canucks. I don't know how they're gonna fit the desk, because they have a desk that they put on the concourse so you can see all the fans. Where are they putting that in Rogers Arena? There is no space for that. And the concourse walls are like everywhere. Like the only place I could think of is on the 3rd floor, and they're not putting it on the 300 level. They might, but I don't think they would want to do. I don't think they want to do that. So where are they putting it? Are they putting them in BC Place? I don't know. We'll see. They probably have it all figured out. We'll see on Monday. But yeah, I will be back on Monday after the Canucks play the San Jose Sharks at home, and be sure to tune in for that because it will be entertaining and Christmassy themed, and I hope that's a game with Mark Messier as a studio analyst. Avery. Yeah. Fun fact. I hope my dad isn't watching this, but a couple years ago, last year, I got him Mark Messier's book for Father's Day as a joke. This year, for Christmas, part of his gift is Mike Keenan's book with a foreword by Mark Messier. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. I hope he can't hear me. It would be really funny if he did though. Alright, everybody. I hope you all have a great night. Zach will be back tomorrow after the Canucks probably lose in Vegas, because the house always wins. And yeah, hope you have a great night, and I'll see you again on Monday. Bye! Oh, subscribe and like and all that stuff. Do that fun stuff. I am so smart. I forgot how to be a YouTuber. Good night, everybody.